So you want government to have more power. So you want socialism. But I'm pretty sure Tucker Carlson is against communism. But now all of a sudden he wants that. Create your own fucking platform. That's what free market is for. That's capitalism. What next? Tucker Carlson.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Here's a thought experiment for you.
I fucking hate his face already. God fucking damn it.
If you wanted to turn a free country into a dictatorship, not that anyone would want to do that.
Oh, yeah. Straight from the gates. If you want to turn a free country, which, I'm sorry, Americans, but your country isn't that free. We have more freedom than you. You're not free.
Let's say you did want to do that. How would you do it? What's the first freedom you would curtail? Well, it turns out the founders of this country thought very deeply about that question. They were making a new country, and they wanted to avoid dictatorship. And they concluded that it wasn't even close. The freedom that matters is the freedom to speak your mind, the freedom of speech. That's the most basic and essential of all the freedoms.
Okay, this is gonna be a fun conversation, because I'm pretty sure Tucker Carlson doesn't know what freedom of speech is. But I'm curious to see where this is going.
And that's why it's enshrined in the very First Amendment to the Bill of Rights. It's central not simply to freedom, but to humanity. It's not opposable thumbs that separate us from the animals. It's words. We can speak. That's our power. Words.
I think I just broke my brain. Does anyone know what's the real difference between us and animals? I'm gonna hint. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's not words. Tucker Carlson is dead wrong. Like, I don't know how the fuck he didn't edit this out. But the biggest difference between animals and us isn't words. The biggest difference between us and animals is our cognitive skills, which is basically how the brain works and how our anatomy is built. Combine those, we can do things that almost 99% of animals can't do. Even if we didn't have the ability to speak or hear, we could do things that animals can't do. Why? Because our brains are built different, and also because our limbs and the human anatomy is like completely different to any animals. It has nothing to do with speech. It has nothing to do with smell. It's not the ability to speak. Animals have the ability to speak. They just don't speak our language. What language is Tucker Carlson talking about? Because not all of the world speaks English, for example.
Words. In the beginning was the Word, declares John at the opening of the fourth gospel.
Oh, we're talking about Christianity. Okay, but Christianity goes back like 4,000 years, but the planet goes back, I don't know, a couple of million years.
The Word. The Word is the most important thing that we have. Take away.
No. Words aren't the most important thing we have. The ability to think is the most important thing we have.
Away our ability to choose our own words, and we are no longer fully human. We are subjects.
No, even if you... So, is he saying mute people aren't humans? I don't know if Tucker Carlson knows, but there are a lot of mute people who can't speak. So if you can't speak, you're not human.
We're chattel. Authoritarians understand this above all. That's why they hate freedom of speech. In fact, if you gave them a choice, they'd let you have a fully automatic 50 caliber machine gun before they allowed you to say exactly.
That is not true. That is not true, and that's not factual in history even. Because every single dictatorship has, the first thing they've done is taking away everybody's weapons. And Tucker Carlson should know this, because this is the fucking reasoning the Second Amendment people always give us. Governments try to take away guns. They try to take our freedom. We want our guns to be able to battle against tanks and nuclear missiles and drones and shit. I'm gonna fire my fucking 50 caliber at them. When a nuclear missile is coming towards my house, I'm gonna just shoot it with my 22. Which is a small caliber pistol or a rifle.
Exactly what you want. With a gun, you might be able to kill people, but with words, you can expose them. With words, you can...
Oh. Dictators are so fucking worried about exposing them with their military and their private investigators and their fucking KGB. Oh, you exposed me. What can I do? Oh yeah, you don't have weapons, so basically whatever I want to. Off the gulag. Like, we're 1 minute and 25 seconds in and Tucker Carlson's already speaking like nonsense.
Can change the world.
And this guy has a spot on Fox News.
In fact, there has never been a change, a deep change to the way people live and think that didn't begin with words. Not with might, not with violence, but with words.
What? Yes, they have.
That's why they're so obsessively focused on what you can say, on the
Every fucking revolution has started with a fighting, and the words come after that.
words you can use, because they understand the power of words. And Elon Musk, whatever his faults may be, understands this too. And that's why he's trying to buy Twitter. Not because he needs another company. No. And Elon Musk purchasing Twitter is more than just a potential change to the media landscape. It is a true existential threat to the hegemony of the people currently in charge. Allowing freedom of speech means the possibility of a revolution from below against the...
Again, I don't know how many times this has to be stated, but the First Amendment, freedom of speech, is actually like only in the United States. Of course, we have freedom of speech also, but it's not the First Amendment here in Finland. But it's a governmental issue that you have the right to say whatever you want to in anything except private companies, because they can decide what the fuck a customer can say. Twitter is a private company, so the First Amendment doesn't really apply to them, and also they are multinational, so the United States First Amendment doesn't really apply to them. A private company can do what the fuck they want to. If they don't want some speech to be there, they can just say fuck that. They have the right to do that. I thought this was like a free country. I thought this was capitalism. I thought this was a free market. And now, all of a sudden, Tucker Carlson wants socialism. Fucking communist.
The forces destroying this country and the West. So everything rides on this. They know it. You may not, but they do. So they've got to do everything they can to destroy Elon Musk, who was just the other day a hero to them. He's the electric car guy, remember? They don't even mention his electric cars anymore because he's doing the one thing you're not allowed to do, which is...
Yes, he's supporting Russia and Vladimir Putin. That's why a lot of people is really angry at Elon, because Elon Musk is supporting Vladimir Putin and Russia.
Giving voice to people. So since
he's giving a voice to Russia, and that's actually a bad thing at the moment.
April, they've been trying to destroy Elon Musk. First, they called him a racist. He's from South Africa. He must be a racist.
Well, no, it wasn't because of that. It was because of the apartheid Elon Musk's family has taken a part of. The diamond business was a pretty bloody one.
When it turns out he was too rich to care, they moved on to new tactics. So then NGOs funded by George Soros commanded companies to pull their ad money away from Twitter. We'll starve him out. And then some Saudi prince tried to argue that Elon Musk was somehow underpaying for Twitter, when it's very obvious, look at the markets, that he's overpaying. And then the Washington Post's Max Boot got involved, because this was another war he could support. So in order to save democracy, Max Boot informed us, we need more content moderation on Twitter. No free speech allowed. Of course, content moderation.
Again, free speech isn't a thing that applies all private companies. Private companies can limit their customers. They are allowed to limit speech also.
Moderation is a euphemism for censorship. And who
Not really.
does censorship help? Always and everywhere the powerful. Who does it hurt? The weak. Words are all they have.
You can't go to Wall Street and criticize them. Just saying. Why isn't Tucker Carlson like going after Wall Street? They are limiting the speech you can do about Wall Street because, well, money. I've heard and I've read that Tucker Carlson is pretty tied to Wall Street, so maybe that's the reason. That's a different thing, of course.
Their ability to say what they think away from them, and they have no power at all. So tonight, after roughly 6 months of watching this drama, which has gone in and out of the news cycle, it looks...
they could go do their own thing. And they tried to. Like, there was Parler where nobody went, and Kanye Yeet is now buying it, even though nobody's going there. And then there was the Freedom something that Donald Trump created, and nobody's in there also. And the reason they are now, Elon Musk is buying Twitter is because both of those completely failed. And they want a place they can just spout conspiracy theories and racist stuff. Which is fucking hilarious.
Looks like they have failed to stop Elon Musk from buying Twitter. All indications that we have as of right now are that the deal will go through. Twitter has just locked its employees' stocks, and that indicates some kind of transaction is imminent. And then a source tells the show that there is a very high probability, 90% probability, that within the next 2 weeks, Elon Musk will own Twitter. And he has said repeatedly, and we can't guess the future, but he has said he is doing this in order to give voice to people who have no voice. All of us have forgotten that Twitter banned a sitting president of the United States from speaking, thereby making it really clear who's got the real power. No, not the US government, transnational corporations like Twitter, which control speech.
So you want government to have more power. So you want socialism. But I'm pretty sure Tucker Carlson is against communism. But now all of a sudden he wants that. Create your own fucking platform. That's what free market is for. That's capitalism.
They did everything they could to stop this from happening, but they failed. So now they're attempting to destroy Elon Musk, the man. And again, to be clear, we don't know Elon Musk. We're not carrying water for Elon Musk. He may have weird agendas we don't know about. But it's only about speech. That's it. And that's why the Justice Department is now investigating Elon Musk for reasons that no one can explain. But that's what the DOJ does now. Tries to terrify people with criminal investigations into obeying. Then David Frum naturally got involved because there's no level to which he will not stoop in defense of the people in charge. And he is now calling for the Biden administration to seize Elon Musk's satellites. The ones that he's given for free to the government of Ukraine for use.
Elon Musk didn't give them for free, but Tucker Carlson wants to push narratives. So, and also he's against Joe Biden. So,
in their war effort against Russia, quote, the U.S. should have a plan ready to nationalize Starlink, the satellite company, fast if Musk cuts off Ukraine's connections to advance his political agenda, wrote David Frum. Oh, his political agenda. In other words, if you don't like his politics, just seize his stuff. And of course, at the core of his politics, this is all that matters, is the call for ordinary Americans to be able to say what they really think.
No. I wonder why Tucker Carlson left out the political agenda that guy, I don't know who the fuck that was, let's go. David Frum is saying. The political agenda was he wants the Ukraine to give Russia what they want to end the war. But I wonder why Tucker Carlson isn't saying the real stuff.
Just take his stuff by force. CNN, meanwhile, is calling Musk an agent of Russia because he won't continue to provide access to his satellites to Ukraine free of charge.
No, they aren't saying because of that. They are saying because Musk has advocated and talked numerous of times that Ukraine should give areas to Russia because Russia somehow owns claim to those areas. So Elon Musk is actually spouting out Putin propaganda. That's the reason.
Watch.
Without Starlink, Ukraine says it can't fight. Last week, reports emerged of widespread sudden Starlink outages on the front line as troops fought to take back territory.
They're puzzled about why that's going on. Is that something that SpaceX is doing intentionally? Is that coming from Elon? No one is quite sure.
The outages and news of the funding request to the Pentagon come as Musk's support of Ukraine is also questioned after he proposed a peace deal suggesting that Ukraine relinquish Crimea to Russia and hold UN-backed referenda for parts of eastern Ukraine. That peace plan was so widely seen in Ukraine as being pro-Russian that one Ukrainian diplomat told Elon Musk to bluntly F off.
Okay, says the guy with his eyes too close together. Oh, really? It's about Russia and Ukraine. It has nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine. You think they care about Russia and Ukraine? Of course not. If they did, they would be pushing a peace deal to save Russian and Ukrainian lives. They don't care. It's about domestic politics. It's about the United States, and it's about Elon Musk committing the one unforgivable sin, which is trying to allow you to say what you really think about the people in.
No, no, and no. I don't know why Tucker Carlson is so fucking pro-Russia, but well, and also, well, he basically is in love with Elon Musk, so that's one of the reasons. But you can just hear from his voice that he's really hurt that somebody said something bad about his boy Musky there, and he's also butthurt that somebody said something bad about Russia and Putin.
In charge, to make the contest a little less asymmetrical, to give you a little power, and they're terrified that he will succeed. So what we're seeing is the desperation of a regime, not just a political regime, but a cultural regime. A class of people running the country who feel like they are losing power, and they're panicked. You can feel it in their hysteria. The hectoring lifestyle liberals, the one who work to crush the American spirit, freedom and independence of mind, masculinity, those people, the ones who've been yelling at you on television for the past 5 years, feel like, holy smokes, it's all slipping away. If the proles get to talk, we're in deep trouble. Ready the helicopters from the roof of the embassy. We got to get out of here. But it's interesting. Unlike previous regimes, these are not people in uniforms. These are chirpy middle-aged women who are telling you, you better obey for your own good. Brandy Zadrozny of NBC News, for example. We showed a clip of her the other day talking in her sing-songy voice about how we're going to need a lot more censorship in this country.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, just for your own good. No, you can't go to the bathroom. Shut up and obey. Oh, right. Okay.
I wonder, is Tucker Carlson, what drugs does he take? What drugs does he take, and can I get them? Everything. He's taking everything. Like, Tucker Carlson is basically saying that Twitter can't decide what speech they can do, and well, that's basically socialism. But now, all of a sudden, socialism is again bad. But I don't know.
This is not what we've had before. This is what we have now. And people like Brandy Zadrozny are at stormtroopers. She literally wrote a guide for how to reveal where people live, how to dox them if they are guilty of wrongthink. This is a person who targets anonymous posters online if they disagree with her, and then sits back and watches what happens.
I don't know. If somebody spouts death threats and like wishes somebody to be raped or something, yeah, I think there should be a backdoor to get that guy's address and prosecute him or her. I think there should be accountability if you threat somebody's well-being in the internet. I don't think internet should be 100% anonymous.
Happens. A lot of cases, their lives are destroyed. And for that service, that dutiful service to the people in charge, corporate media celebrates her as a hero. They have her on constantly to call for even, can you guess, even more censorship.
We're at the tail end of the rally right now, and you hear a lot about this is an anti-mandate rally. That's what a lot of people told us coming in. A lot of the people who were here parroted that language, but all of the speakers that we've seen today it's been a misinformation fest. We've seen misinformation about the so-called dangers of vaccines. This is a very extreme message, and we may not see harm out on the streets like we saw on January 6th, but health experts say that this causes harm just the same.
Mandates do seem to work to get people, the majority of people, even people who are, prone to conspiracy thinking, to say, I don't want to lose my job, or, I want to fly on that plane, or whatever the mandate whatever the mandate's ruling. And so like that is some good news. And, you know, we have, you know, the First Amendment, and we have like specific things in our country that make it a little more difficult to regulate speech on the internet. And I just think that it's a very hard problem.
Oh, there are people out there who don't want to lose their jobs. They want to fly in airplanes, but they can't for their own good. Shut up, stop talking.
He's fucking losing it. Like, during the pandemic, yeah, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost the ability to fly, but there was a pandemic, and it was something we hadn't had like in like 100 years. So our procedures and protocols, how to react to such a pandemic, wasn't like up to date. So drastic measures were taken. I think they were still the right ones, but apparently Tucker Carlson, like he has been actually for the whole of the pandemic, has been on the side that it was all conspiracy theory and bullshit.
The problem for people like Brandy and the literally hundreds of people just like her in corporate media, all of whom wake up every morning trying to figure out how to serve power as efficiently as they can, is that no one believes them anymore. No one.
I don't understand how the fuck anybody believes Tucker Carlson. Also, I don't understand how anybody believes any of those big news outlets. But I don't understand how anybody believes Tucker Carlson.
Takes them seriously anymore. They've been caught lying one too many times. So people,
just like you in this fucking 10 minutes, you basically lied like every fucking other second.
People really no longer care if they're called names. Oh, you're trafficking in misinformation.
He like straight from the get-go, he got wrong. What's the difference between what's the difference between a human and an animal? He also got it wrong what freedom of speech meant. Like, this is almost the complete fucking section of this is basically just lies.
You're a conspiracy nut. You're a racist. Yeah, okay. I don't care what you say. You're totally discredited. You're a joke. And that suggests that there is a change coming. We may have a country very soon where people can say what they actually think. And when they do that, they will be able to live with dignity again, like free people. And you're seeing indications of this. You're seeing people run for office who will not be controlled by unfair, in fact, ludicrous attacks from their opponents. They've unshackled themselves. They've taken off the leash. J.D. Vance is one of them. He's running for Senate in Ohio. He's running against a guy called Tim Ryan. So Tim Ryan is worried he's going to lose. In fact, he is going to lose, and we're going to celebrate when he does.
Okay,
but Tim Ryan just said, well, I got to stop J.D. Vance. I don't want to argue with him on any of the issues because I actually don't have a better argument. You know what I'm going to do?
How Ohio
I'm going to call him a racist. That'll stop him. You're a racist. Okay. Watch how J.D. Vance responded last night from the Ohio Senate debate.
This great replacement theory was the motivator for the shooting in Buffalo. Yes. Where that shooter had all these great replacement theory writings that J.D. Vance agrees with, some sicko got this information that he's peddling with, again, those extremists that he runs around with, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ted Cruz, all these guys, they just want to stoke this racial violence. We're tired of it, JD.
This is disgusting.
I'd like to get
here's exactly what happens when the media and people like Tim Ryan accuse me of engaging the great replacement theory. I'll tell you exactly what happens, Tim. What happens is that my own children, my biracial children, get attacked by scumbags online and in person because you are so desperate for political power that you'll accuse me, the father of 3 beautiful biracial babies, of engaging in racism. We are sick of it. You can believe in a border without being a racist. You can believe in the country without being a racist. And this just shows how desperate this guy is for political power.
Yeah, we're sick of it. And it's not just J.D.
I wonder what was said after the cut. You can bet your fucking ass Tucker Carlson isn't going to show anything that's going against his own personal biases.
Democrat Tim Ryan continued his hot streak in debating J.D. Vance.
This is the highest office you could get in this country except for president. And he's running around backing these extremists, the most extreme people in the country, a guy who denied Sandy Hook. He's like, no, he's credible.
Thank you, Congressman.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's just it's
we can talk about how I got in hot water with with saying that Alex Jones was a more
What? Alex Jones is a far more reputable source of information than Rachel Maddow.
Then you kissed his ass.
Not true.
It is true. And then you kissed his ass. So they will eat you up like a chew toy, right? I mean, you were calling Trump America's Hitler. Then you kissed his ass.
Not true.
It is true. And then you kissed his ass. And then he endorsed you. And you said he's the greatest president of all time. Mitch McConnell gave you $40 million to prop up your campaign. Peter Thiel gave you $15 million. That's $55 million, JD. What do you think they want for that? They want your loyalty. And you proved that you'll kiss their ass too.
All I'm going to say.
Oh my fucking god, like, no wonder Tucker Carlson cut it short.
To represent.
I have to say that one thing that I don't like about US politics is like their style of not arguing what they are going to do if they get elected. They are just attacking the opposing candidate. They don't say that if you elect me, I'm gonna do blah 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 blah. They are just like, okay, that guy's a piece of shit. He's done this and this. He's friends with that and that. He's gonna fucking murder your baby. He's gonna kill your dog. He's gonna fucking poison the waters. Like, I just fucking can't stand that. I don't understand how Americans do that.